Showdown Saturday in the WCAC as four teams, McNamara, O'Connell, Gonzaga, and St. John's, battled in a game of musical chairs for 2 playoff spots. Let's start at McNamara, where the Mustangs hosted Senior Day and a chance to get into the playoffs with a win and some help. They battled Bishop O'Connell, who was in the exact same scenario, a win and some help, and they could be dancing in the playoffs. Let's start with the opening kickoff, and if we're showing you a kicking play, you know something had to happen. Alfonso Banks the fourth with the ball, and he is off to the races. Look at that Mustang gallop. First play of the game, 82 yards, touchdown. Mustangs lead 6-0. McNamara's defense would keep the momentum going. Check out this big sack here as the Knights struggled early on in this ball game. McNamara's offense now back in business. Ramar Williams, the quarterback, chucks it deep, and he cashes in as Banks will take it into the end zone, an 84-yard touchdown, a 12-0 lead, and he throws up the ex-Des Bryant style. Get it, young man. The Mustangs would keep it going on defense now. An interception, a pick six. It's Robert Jackson, the senior. He will go 61 yards for a 20-0 lead. McNamara all over the Knights. O'Connell, though, would counter in the second quarter. Senior running back Anthony Howard scoring from 22 yards out to cut the lead down to 20-7. O'Connell would come back all the way within 34-28 with 10 minutes to go, but the Mustangs go on to win 52-28. McNamara giving itself a chance at the playoffs. Meanwhile, O'Connell eliminated after the loss. Gonzaga would have to win, and the Mustangs would be in. A St. John's win would give McNamara a 2 out of 3 chance via a coin flip scenario. Let's now head out to Blair, where bitter rivals Gonzaga and St. John's battled in an atmosphere which was far from bitter. You had a great sense of community as Gonzaga mourning the loss of senior Dom Petty, who died in a car accident on November 1st. The Eagles senior had his funeral that morning, the day of the game. It was such a long and emotional day for Gonzaga. St. John's, though, showing true WCAC brotherhood. They played the Eagles' fight song at one point and also brought out the Gonzaga flag when they brought out the colors along with their own St. John's flag. Once the game started, Gonzaga would take an early lead on a field goal, but the rest of the first half would belong to St. John's. A deep heave here, and Scotty Washington with the catch that would set up Washington for his touchdown a couple plays later, and a 7-3 lead for the Cadets. Cadets quarterback sophomore Miles Team Money with a big run here, and that would set up another big play. To Money goes deep. Scotty Washington, beam me up, Scotty. Another huge play and touchdown. 14-3 lead for St. John's. The Johnnies would tack on a Perez field goal as they built a 17-3 advantage in the second quarter. But Gonzaga not going to fold. They would have a nice drive. Here, Johns would find game MVP Reggie Corbin on the reception, and that would set up a Brian Johnson field goal right before halftime to keep Gonzaga in it at 17-6 at halftime. After the break, the Eagles fans paying tribute to Dom, putting up the 11s, touching moment there, and the Eagles football team would show a renewed vigor as Tyree Randolph, the sophomore, would get his way into the end zone, cutting the lead down to 17-13 in the third quarter. Later in the fourth, Gonzaga looking for a lead on 4th and goal, but St. John's vaunted defense will stop it. Gonzaga running out of time, 5 minutes to go, but they would come up with a big stop. St. John's would not be credited with a safety here. They would punt it, and that would set things up. Game on the line. Randolph finds his way in the end zone. He scores it. Gonzaga leads 20-17. St. John's one last chance in the waning moments. Incomplete pass. Gonzaga celebrating an emotional win. It was one you had to be there to truly get and witness for Gonzaga to somehow pull out that win after a draining emotional day, going to a funeral. Absolutely amazing. It was a Hollywood script. Gonzaga somehow, someway moves into the playoffs. They will play DeMatha at Navy at noon on Sunday. McNamara also in the playoffs. They will play Good Counsel following the Gonzaga-DeMatha game. St. John's and O'Connell, they lost the game of musical chairs, both eliminated from playoff contention. Here is what Gonzaga had to say after the incredible win.
Well, it was a long day. It was a long week. It was probably one of the hardest weeks of our lives. But in our pregame speech, we always talked about staying together no matter what happens. No matter if we came out through 50 picks, fumbled the ball 5 times, we got to stay together, because if we stay together, we can overcome anything. Really, but we knew this game meant more to the school than it ever has. I mean, this has been such a rough week, and all we had was each other. Gonzaga is truly a brotherhood, and I finally understand what they mean by men for others and this being a brotherhood, because this is something serious. These are my brothers for life.